Have you ever felt an unexplained connection to somebody or someplace? I think we all have at one time or the other. And that's why today we are going to deep dive into energetic chords. We're going to talk about cord cutting, if you should or you shouldn't, what chords even are, and the effect that they have on our life so that we can utilize them to best serve our life.
Yeah. And energy cords are something, let me tell you. It can go from 0 to 60 depending on who it is or what it is. As far as strength is concerned, it's a very interesting topic. I'll give it that, because I've experienced some energy cord connections and also cutting. So it's an eye opener, that's for sure.
It is. So, what are these energetic cords? They're just these invisible connections, although some people can see them, which is super cool. But it's just energy that's connected from one person to the other. So, you know this like when somebody walks into the room and you're just like, who the hell is that? I need to know. Mm-hmm. Or you get into a relationship, you've maybe been in others, and then you meet this one person and it's unlike anything you've ever felt before. I mean, it could be friendship, intimate, whatever. Mm-hmm. Also, emotional objects are another thing, like something that has a lot of memories attached to it. Or not even, maybe it's something that just suddenly reminds you of a past energetic connection. So what do we do with them? How do we take a look at them? Do we even understand them? We most commonly see people wanting to know about this topic when they've had a breakup.
Yeah, that's usually the most common for sure.
Because they're like, how do I get rid of this? I've been done wrong, or I just miss them and I want them back. Like all the different range of emotions people go through.
My heart can't take it anymore. I need it to stop.
I can't get them out of my head.
Because there's such big energy there. So it's like you either want it back, like you said, or you need to, cut the cord pretty much so that you can continue on with life and enjoy it in the present moment versus something that had happened in the past or someone that you're no longer with. So
that's a lot of these things. These energy cords keep getting refueled and refueled by you telling that story over and over again. So you can check yourself on that.
And I think the best part about energy cord cutting is that moving forward, when you do enter another relationship, you're not bringing all that shit with you. Because the person that's standing in front of you is not the person that you left behind. So you can't address that person in the same manner, in the same, or anything like that. The energy with the new person or the new item, whatever, might feel the same, but it certainly is not the same. So cutting the cord from that past thing or person is really beneficial, because then you're not addressing anything moving forward from that place. And that's that's been the theme of what we've been talking about. You never want to continue into something new with past energies, past emotions, unhealed feelings, or anything like that. You want to start from a fresh fucking canvas every single time, because that is your responsibility to bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And if you're coming to the table and you have all sorts of different energies, feelings, emotions, reactions, you bring it into play, then it's going to be a shit show. Like I've said it before, a fucking dumpster fire will happen, that's for sure. So you want to make sure you come to the table responsibly. So cut those cords, heal those wounds.
I had a past connection with somebody, and I did all the cord cutting and all the things, and it kept coming back different each time, but stronger and stronger and stronger, until I realized that I was focusing too much on the cord. My whole focus was on this cord, and it needed to be severed, and it needed to change, even though it was changing, but not to my liking, because I still felt the energy. Well, I'm a pretty plugged in energetic being, as we all are. So of course I'm going to still feel the energy with somebody that I had a vast connection with lifetimes ago, and I'm sure lifetimes forward. Like, this is not going away. So I finally got to a place where I accepted what is. It's energy. We're connected. It just is. And I'm okay with that. I don't know how this is going to shift. I don't know where it needs to lie, but I know I'm okay. He's living his life. I'm living my life. We're both good. I hope he's good. I'm good. It just is. So when you can get into this acceptance place of it, instead of like this frantic, I have to change it because I don't like how I feel inside, or I don't like the thoughts that start in my head. That's you doing all different mindset work, different settling into yourself, a lot of meditation, that type of thing. So if you can just simply have some sort of acceptance of what is, and I don't know how, and I don't need to know how. Energy is just energy. It just is. And then we have this little blessing that has to do with cord cutting, and we'll put it at the end of the video, so please watch that. It's something that you can say to yourself that will assist you in cutting those cords. It's super powerful, that we've used before, so take a look at that at the end. Spiritual community, my weekly calling bullshit on it, usually talks about negative cords and positive cords. Now, we've talked about energy a lot, and if you know anything about energy, energy just is. You might have a negative feeling associated with it, or a negative thought, or positive vice versa, but there's no such thing as a negative cord and a positive cord. I like to talk about them. Are they draining or are they nourishing? Like, is it really feeding you? Because a lot of people will be like, oh, this thing with my ex is negative, but you've stayed plugged into it. So they keep attaching back to me. It's like always looking outward, instead of looking in. Like, you keep replaying that story, so there's something you're looking for from it, or some adrenaline or hormone hit that you're getting from it, so you keep plugging back into the story. So that's really realistically draining you, even though you're just getting the temporary, like, oh yeah, this is positive and I'm keeping it. A lot of time cord cutting doesn't work too, because we do all the things. We'll go into a few things you can do to cord cut. You do all the things, and then you start telling the story, and you plug right back into it. It's like you're like, nope, I don't like this, whatever device is plugged into the wall. So I don't like this light. You unplug it. Yep, I've disconnected from it. I'm good. I've cut the cord. And then you're like, oh, it's kind of dark. I'd like some light. And plug it right back in. And then you're like, why is this happening to me? People get all tragic with it.
Yeah. And usually that happens a lot with, relationships, any type of relationship, really. But, I think about my past relationships, and, I've tend to stay friends with the people that I've been involved with. And my last one was a really hard one. It's taken me years to really bounce back because it was so much there. And I did cord cutting during, several years back. Mm-hmm. And it's true what you said, that something happens where that cord connects again. Me and this person are very, very energetically connected. And it's when the person comes into play, either, text me or something, you can feel that energy cord coming right back. The difference is that since the cord cutting, how it connects is completely different from back then. And that's the work, like I made it a point to disconnect in a very loving way, mm-hmm. in a very respectful way, not diminishing what we had, but also acknowledging that is no longer there. So moving forward, it has to be a different type of connection, a different type of energy, so and I do get moments where it's like, when I get that text, get that little smile on my face, things like that. But remembering that is not then, this is now. Right. And bringing that energy forward. So I get that part about it, creeping up, if you will.
Exactly. And cord cutting is just a way of releasing or transforming, like you'd really transmuted how that energy was. And if this is of value to you, please like and subscribe. It really helps us build the channel and bring more of this really awesome energy out to you guys and connect in with you, because we love those cords. They are amazing. But most of us, when we first come across cord cutting, it's like a ritual thing with a knife, where you're like picturing the energetic connections that you need to cut away. Or some people take walnut baths. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of different ways that you can cut the cords. There's a lot of meditations that you can do. I really like Steve Nobel Nobel meditations. They're here on YouTube and on Insight Timer. And he takes you through all sorts of very safe, very loving, high vibrational cuttings of all different sorts. It's amazing. So if you do it, like you said, very responsibly and very lovingly, you have a much better shot of having this stick and having it shift for you. If you're going into it like angry ex must cut out of life and all that stuff, that's a lot of anger. That's a lot of dark, low vibrational stuff that is draining energy. And you might temporarily feel good, just like when you have a release, like when you like go off on somebody because you're just like, I'm going to say everything I need to say to them. And then you feel better for a little bit and then it starts building back up.
And the thing with that is, like, if you do it in that form, it's kind of like an octopus effect, if you will. Mm-hmm. You're cutting one, there's another one coming through, and it's just coming through you in different ways because you're not actually cutting that energy cord. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is severing it in anger, leaving parts behind, not healing what needs to be healed. So it's going to creep up in other different ways.
Exactly.
And again, and connect it. So as you're cutting in anger, it's connecting. So the solution for this is best if you heal it and do it respectfully and in honoring. You can't ignore, forget, or put away or pretend it never happened in something. Okay, you need to be able to honor that it happened. You love the person, you love the situation, whatever the case is. Honor that and do it respectfully. Otherwise, like you said, it's going to show up in other ways and keep connecting until it's actually healed.
Right. Because if you understand the oneness, that we're all energy, so we're all connected, like there's cords. We're all corded together, period. Like, so you can keep cutting it. It's going to reconnect, but it's the intensity and the size and how the power of it, that's what matters. Mm-hmm. So if we're all connected to everything's a part of us. Like, say my hand is this thing that I need to get rid of, like this is the ex or the whatever it is, the ex-boss, and I'm cutting off my hand, and then I cut the ties. I am good, the cord is cut. Now I'm bleeding out. What is that doing? Draining me, killing my spirit, killing my body. This is what we see a lot when you don't know what you're doing. A lot of people go to healers that help with this. I've seen this work in a way. I've done it once myself with something that I was having trouble disconnecting with, and it helped because then my emotions weren't at play in it. I was like laying down, I was centered, I was meditating, I was in a very solid, good place, in a very protective, supported, loving energy. So when the cords were cut by someone who wasn't attached to it and had no opinion or judgments about it whatsoever, it really helped chill them out in a way.
I want to give you a quick message before we get back to this episode. Unlock the secrets of your soul for free with Soul Notes. Say goodbye to feeling stuck and hello to the validation of your alignment. These weekly prompts are filled with reminders, gentle nudges, and sometimes a kick in the ass, all with love from your soul. Don't just take our word for it. Try Soul Notes for yourself and see the difference it can make in your life. Trust us, your soul and you will thank you. Just go to soulnote.org. That's SOULNOTE.org. Now back to our podcast.
So yeah, you want to make sure you're not just violently cutting. A lot of times I advise people completely against cord cutting because, again, we're all corded, and if something is draining you, it's a low vibration. So all you need to do is shift your own vibration. So the more you turn inward, the more you start working on yourself, your vibration will start to raise or just shift out of whatever vibration that person was in, and the cord will naturally just start to shrink. And the more that your energy doesn't match that person, they're not going to be wanting to plug into it. They might try and they're not going to get it because your energy is now over here instead of where it was before. So the more you shift, the naturally all this just happens for you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because we have to realize, and this can be a completely other podcast, we come in with our soul group. Mm-hmm. And we all have a role to play, if you will. And if that role is something that can be hurtful, whatever, something that needs to shift you in some way, you have to remember that person loved you enough to say, okay, I'm going to come here with you and I'm going to play this role that's going to suck. Okay. And that's the thing that we forget.
Yeah.
Our soul group comes with us in such a way and had different tasks that are going to help us grow. That's going to help them grow and all that. So yes, if you cut the cord in that manner, it is going to pop up because they're part of your group. They're always going to be part of your group. They're designed in that way. That plays a big role. There's so many different layers to this than just cord cutting. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it needs to be done responsibly and in a healing way and love attached to it, because that's the only way it's going to disperse properly.
And you'll know, because some people will say like that person is latched onto you or hooked into you. A lot of the energy is just, it's like hooks. It's all these people and this energy that you've picked up throughout your day, interactions, various people at work who you might not have a deep bond with, but you just you're interacting all the time and you have a connection. Those latching on type of people, that can be just a gentle unhook and ground the energy into the earth for whatever they need so that they can still feel secure without being latched into you. Like, it could be that simple and gentle. It doesn't have to be this slice and dice type of machete thing, even though you might feel like you want to do that. Not good for you, not good for the other person. Also, I want to caution you about pushback, because if you are suddenly energetically connecting, that affects the other person. And you might be like, good, I want them to bleed out and feel me severing this, that I'm okay without them and I am done. And, they're probably not even thinking about you anymore. Some of them are, but yeah, half the time when we're really that deeply invested and something has, friendship or whatever has fallen apart, it's not the same on both ends anymore.
Right. Totally different.
So the more loving you can do it, it's just, I can't even say it enough. Mm-hmm. You want to respect energy. You don't want to continue to devalue it and baseline the energy down into some deep, dense thing that, again, drains you.
It's like anything that we've talked about, it comes down to your core values. Once you get to know your core values in a deep way, then when these things happen, and how to move forward, because you're going to do it based upon those core values. I can't impress upon you enough how respectful one needs to be when doing this kind of work, and how loving one needs to be when doing this kind of work, because that is the only way it's going to transform, to a better situation, to a better life, to a better energy, and all those things. So yeah, I mean, it's a practice that is useful. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you want to have as many tools in your toolbox as you can, but use caution or get help, when you want to do something like that. I know that I went to someone as well for that kind of help, and she was amazing, and it really, really did work. And like I said, it just now the energies connect differently because the healing had occurred. So.
Right. And you can regularly scan yourself, because you want your energy all the time to be clean and clear. So just scan through and see are there any heavy places in your body? Are there any places that feel like you're being pulled? Is there anything that's like popping into your head or your heart that you're feeling is a pulling type of energy, is a draining type of energy? And then just, picture that flushing out however it needs to. Another good thing you can do is make sure you're calling back your power. Are you in your power? Are you checking if you're in your power? If you're not sure, just call it back. Calling back all my power, and I am removing permissions from anybody that I either unconsciously or consciously gave permission to attach into my energy, to siphon from my energy, to have an open fire hose of energy into me. I call all of that back. and I only want to keep in my vibration whatever is for the best and highest good for myself. And I want to shift, transmute, unhook, however this works the best for the highest good of me and the other person involved. Another thing, another tool, you were just talking about tools, is you want to, check all your chakras. You want to make sure you're really grounded here, because you want this to happen just here, not just this ethereal otherworld place. You want it to be here. So you want to ground in here, and then you want to go all the way up to your crown chakra, and you want to tap into the cosmos. Call in your guides, call in whatever beings for your highest good are there to help you clear your energy and check your energy. Once you're plugged in those two things, then have at it. I mean, do you want to picture everything either shrinking or expanding to whatever is at the ideal and best for you? Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can just gently do this.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to go full force into it. I don't recommend it. But,
But most people don't find cord cutting until they get to that point.
Exactly.
Like, I've tried everything. So you probably are here how do I machete this and just be done with it? And we hope we're talking you into a more centered, more grounded place for you.
And understand that if you're feeling that type of desperation, is because you're consistently living in the past.
Yes.
You're in desperation and you're like, I need to just, do some cord cutting. No, sit back, do a little meditation, do a little prayer, and see exactly where you're standing. And you will realize that you are standing in the past of something that is no longer there. Come to the present moment and see, and then decide what you really want to do.
Right. Because a lot of people, we also, if they're not there, they're in the future. And they're like, well, how am I going to go on without them?
Exactly.
And that is you needing to lean into your faith that you have in yourself and building your trust in yourself. Because if you're not in a solid place of trust where I've got this, I've got myself, I know how to love myself, I know how to fill myself with love, I know how to do life with or without anybody else. Would I love to do it with this other person? Yeah, maybe. But they're not there anymore. They're gone. So how can you lean harder into that trust? That's, again, calling back your power. We have a video. We'll link it up above if you want to click on that, about how to trust yourself, how to build that. Yeah. Because that is vital in doing this. Mm-hmm. So really, the regular cleansing, like we talked about, having super healthy boundaries with yourself and with other people, that will help these cords from, racking up. You don't want to feel like you have 8 million things coming off of you all the time. That's like just, sucking your energy dry and not filling you up. So if you're ever feeling drained, that's one place to do is to check these cords.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people do that, like we said, until it gets desperate.
Right. I mean, just when you're in meditation or prayer, whatever works for you, like you said, assess. And one of the things that you can do is, take a salt bath. That helps with really grounding you. It plays a purifying role also. So you might want to do that first. Smudging is another way, get some good smudge incense, and that's cleansing. That cleanses your energy, that cleanses your environment. So again, it puts you in a better place. Journaling is another thing. Put your thoughts down on paper. Get them out of your system. Yeah. That again, because that's energy. Get it out of your system. Put it on paper. Do with it as you will afterwards. And then visualize what you really truly want to accomplish, and be real detailed about that, because cutting an energetic cord is serious business. So you want to be mindful of it. So visualize exactly what you want, because if you do it in a way that it's revengeful or anything like that, or doing harm, is gonna come at you. Right. Everything has a consequence.
Yeah, you never want to approach any abrupt energy shift or magic or ritual or anything like that from a non-centered place. So if you're feeling hurt, anger, any of those things, yes, absolutely get support, or flip into I need to do what I need to do for me to get myself back to center. And once I'm at center, then I can approach these things. Never want to do it from a hurt place alone.
Ever.
Ever. Ever. So cords are they're just simply strands of energy. They're neither good nor bad. They just are. They are actually your pathway to oneness, is what everybody is looking for anyway. Yeah. So please don't look at it as a desperate last measure, trying to fix myself and get rid of emotions. This is where you heal and you deal and you clean and you cleanse and you balance and you call back your power. And then all of this stuff just happens naturally.
Yep.
That's it.
Period.
All right. Be kind.
Be kind. Peace.
A blessing to transmute energetic cords. I now unhook, transform, or release all energetic cords that do not serve my highest good. I release them with love and with ease. All cords are released or changed across all dimensions, times, and planes. At this moment, I release these energetic cords and recover all energy to full power. My energy flows back to me, filling me again with vitality and creating a peaceful, active boundary of love. Now, after you have spoken this blessing, please sit in quiet meditation and feel the energy reclaimed, and take the time you need to reintegrate.